Hi there everyone, and welcome to my first Power Rangers episode review. Sean! Hello there heroes, I'm the Orange Ranger. As you can see by the nostalgic introduction, I looked so much younger without the beard. We are celebrating an occasion around here. On February 21st, 2014, I published the 26th edition of my vlog at the time, Almost Interesting. It was an experiment. Inspired by people like Linkara and Black Nerd Comedy, I decided to try my hand at internet reviewing of my favorite medium, Power Rangers. How has it been 10 years? Today is February 21st, 2024, and Orange Ranger Videos is celebrating its 10th anniversary. Honestly, this occasion warrants a lot more pomp and circumstance than it's going to get. I've had some comments recently asking me when story segments are going to come back. You know, I'm doing this because Linkara does this, but I wonder if he's as blind as I am without these things. The answer to that question is also the answer to why I'm not making a bigger deal about this 10th anniversary. I don't know when story segments are going to come back. I don't have a lot of free time. I'm working not just a 9 to 5, but really more of an 8 to 5:15 job, 5 days a week at an optometrist. That leaves a lot of my chores and errands to the weekends. I'm also, during the week, working on my other channel, Let's Plays on Orange Ranger Plays. I'm playing Dungeons & Dragons with my squad, a level 16 Barbarian Ranger Hobgoblin, if you're curious. I'm seeing my mom, as well as, you know, trying to stay sane, playing video games for fun, relaxing, cooking, etc. This isn't a time for me to complain about being so busy. I'm just trying to explain why my 10th anniversary isn't getting some kind of big event with a big story segment when past celebrations have. That being said, don't worry, Kaizoku and Chomsy and Raichu are all still here. I spoke with Professor McFlyzer on the phone last week. He told you all not to get your Rorschachs in a bonnet. I haven't seen the Silver Skull or his crew since I moved in here, but to be honest, I'm sure that someday they will be back to hassle me once again. So if I can't do some big celebration, what am I going to do? Just review episode 9 of Cosmic Fury, then show a little video of a candle at the end? No, I've got to do something special. And what I decided to do actually tied into another thought that I was having. As bad as it sounds, Cosmic Fury has been a journey to get through reviewing. Not a bad journey, mind you, but as I concluded episode 8's review, I was sitting there knowing that episodes 9 and 10 were sitting ahead of me, and really just kind of wished I could get through it to the end. I would like to say at that point I remembered the anniversary was coming up and I decided to do something special, but actually it's the other way around. I decided to do something special, then I realized that the anniversary was coming up and I just kind of lucked into this. Also, one of you heroes actually called this, even if you didn't realize that you were directly at the time. Hayden Reviews Custom Combos left a comment pointing out an interesting coincidence. I once did a double bill review for Power Rangers Ninja Steel, and that also happened to be episodes 7 and 8. Now that was intentional, done in one video. This was more of a coincidence where the videos were released one day apart, and the reasoning for releasing episode 8 one day after episode 7 was that once I finished episode 8, I realized I'd completely forgotten to upload episode 7, so I didn't want to make y'all wait any longer. Oops, This time, it's entirely on purpose. Pause the video, grab some snackies, get you a couple of drinks, maybe take a bathroom break. Be prepared. To celebrate the 10th anniversary of Orange Ranger videos, I am going to review the final 2 episodes of Power Rangers Cosmic Fury in a single video. That's right, it's time for another double bill review. Now, in case some of you, probably most of you to be honest, are new to my channel since Power Rangers Ninja Steel, let me quickly review how I do double reviews ORV style. It's basically going to be one review right after the other one. I'm going to watch and write my review of episode 9 and then watch and write my review of episode 10. I do that so none of my thoughts on episode 10 influence my review of episode 9. You're getting distinct reviews of each episode. With that entire single page of preamble, happy anniversary, heroes! Let's take a look at the 9th episode of Power Rangers Cosmic Fury, Master Plan.
Please make sure you're subscribed to the channel.
Yeah, and make sure you got your notifications set up by hitting that little bell icon.
Right you. What he said was, you can consider checking us out on Patreon or Ko-fi at Orange Ranger Videos.
We start things off on the base ship in what honestly seems like a gorgeous day outside, as Zayto, Ion, Solon, and Billy, oh, hey, welcome back, Billy, how are things in Reefside? Discuss Zayto's plight. Ion and Solon agree that the best solution is for Zayto to stop using magic. But he will not commit to this directly, only swearing to do what is best for the team. An alarm goes off, which somehow everybody immediately knows is a transmission and not, an attack. It's a signal from Eltar, but what's weird about it is that the signal is not encrypted. I knew what that meant the second they said that, but yes, this is a signal from Lord Zed. They show the Rangers the captured Slither and Mucus, she's goo in a jar, and explain how they plan to torture them. Zed also takes great delight in showing the Rangers that Ollie is still evil. Their little plan didn't even work. Sure, it cut off his powers, but he's still Zed's loyal minion. Oh, but heroes.
I was right!
Ollie steps away, draws his Tricera blaster, takes a deep breath, and fires at Zed and Bajilia. Oh yeah, by the way, it's Bajilia that's still alive. Apparently, being secretly in the Resistance's base, she regrew from that tentacle and left and got back to Eltar. Somehow.
Seriously, I checked the wiki and they used the word somehow.
He grabs the camera to force it on himself and screams to the Rangers that Zed is developing technology to turn himself into a Morphin Master.
Phenomenal cosmic power!
Yeah, you know how Master Green has been intervening in various things and setting them right? How about somebody able to do that the other way around? The Rangers are dazed about the twist about Ollie that, again, I already saw coming, but Zed recovers and blasts Ollie and cuts off the feed. Izzy worries that a Master Zed could destroy the morphing grid, but Zayto explains that the grid cannot be destroyed. This makes sense from a physics standpoint. The grid is energy. Energy cannot be destroyed, only changed. But the Rangers can be cut off from that energy, especially since it's currently unguarded. Spoilers for my upcoming summary review video for this season, but my favorite development of Cosmic Fury is Amelia becoming a girl boss. She lays it out to her team straight. Ollie is good again and risks himself to give them the information about Zed. Mucus and Slither are also in danger on their behalf. Zed cannot be allowed to become a Morphin Master. They are going to Eltar to save everyone. Well, maybe not Lord Zed, now. Okay, kind of a weird moment right here. As they're getting ready to take off, Amelia heading to the cockpit to fire up the engines, Billy calls after her. Jones, saying he has some thoughts to discuss with her. Yeah, he addresses her by her last name, like she's a soldier. It's just kind of weird. Funny enough, even though this really sounds like I have an idea to discuss with you that's going to pop up later on, we actually follow the two directly into the cockpit. Billy explains the, I'm sorry, fairly obvious. One, Zed is going to be pretty proud to have his palace on Zordon's old stomping grounds. He's not going to give that up that easily. And two, he knows they're going to come to save Ollie. So, yeah.
It's a trap!
Amelia's not worried. They faced bigger issues. Besides, now they have Billy. Your team just liberated the rest of Earth.
Excuse me, the fuck did you just say?
Excuse me? Excuse me? No. Pardon me?
Pardon me?
Chill Pill, if I see one whisker on your face, I'm shoving the Keyblade through it. No. We are talking about this. His team, Billy's team, just liberated the rest of Earth. I give the barest of praise to the mention of the former Rangers, them being a part of this fight, even if it's off screen, and now the rest of Earth is not just freed off screen, but it was only the friggin' Mighty Morphin Power Rangers that did that? And listen, yes, as I was writing those words, just about a foot to their right, there was a caption from Billy. Yes, I watch with captions, likely ADHD, moving on, saying that they're not finished doing that yet, but still, if Amelia believed it enough to say it, they must have accomplished at least a vast majority of it. That is inexcusable levels of hero worship combined with rushing things to the end. I'm reviewing 2 episodes in this video. I have to move on from this. Just... Okay. I still don't like it, but they do try to explain this a little better. Basically speaking, the battle has moved beyond Earth now. The other former Rangers have moved out into the galaxy, taking on Zed's forces on various planets. Alien civilians across the galaxy have lost their homes. The Rangers are having to bring them to New Tech City on Earth. New Tech City.
New York City!
Yes, heroes, it is the year of our Zordon 2024. Power Rangers SPD is set to take place next year. And ironically, it doesn't seem like there's going to be a Power Rangers series running in 2025, at least not one taking place in this continuity. We can say canonically the Power Rangers SPD does happen in 2025. The writers finally decided that it was time to explain aliens being on Earth in the SPD of 2025. Refugees from Zed's conquest.
Genius!
You know, I kind of like it. It buttons SPD very neatly into the current continuity, and sure, Kat and other aliens were on Earth as early as 2005, but that could have been more secretive government stuff. Anyway, Amelia asks Billy to get to the point, and I know I've sounded a little more snarky than usual, and I was just screaming back there about that other thing, but this is really, really good. Billy points out that the battle is not yet over on Earth, and there are now alien refugees in need of protecting. Little personal side note there, I do like the SPD nod, but I kind of wish that they had also mentioned that some of the refugees were being taken to Safe Haven, the refugee world in the Power Rangers comics. Maybe do a little bit of canonizing of the Omega Rangers to the TV franchise? No?
Are you sure? Okay.
Anyway, between the ongoing battles on Earth and the refugees now in need of protecting, no other Rangers can be spared for this. Not even him. He's going to stay on Earth and fight with the other MMPR. He lays Amelia out a choice. The Cosmic Fury Rangers could wait a little while, wait for some of the other teams to get freed up, then go to Eltar and hit Zed with an overwhelming force. Or they can leave now and be completely on their own. What I love about this scene is that Billy doesn't try to pull rank or try to flout his greater experience or like he knows so much better than her. This is her decision. He's having a discussion with the leader of another team of Power Rangers, their Red Ranger. It's her decision, and he'll respect it either way. And for her part, Amelia is not all, I have to go and save my boyfriend. Amelia's decision is thought out and well balanced. How can they stop Zed from becoming a Morphin Master without any information on how that would work? Mucus, Slither, and especially Ollie are valuable sources of intel right now. They have to go now. Billy respects her decision, wishes her a may the power protect you, and teleports out as the team leaves Earth for Eltar. A moment later, the Rangers arrive at Eltar. I know space travel would be boring to watch, and Star Trek does this all the time, but it really makes it feel like all of the galaxy's major destinations are like 5 minutes apart from each other. The Rangers arrive, dropping below the cloud line on Eltar to see Zed's foreboding palace, and then Inkworth growing beside it. Yes, for all of you Sentai fans that realize that Inkworth was a major character in Kyuranger, this is why he was used in Cosmic Fury, so they could use this single fight. This episode continues the trend of snapping us around as the Rangers go from unmorphed inside their ship to Zord time! Cosmic Dragon Megazord, Grizzly and Scorpion arms. Cosmic Fury Megazord, Shark and Chameleon arms, Bull and Wolf legs. That's 8 Zords and 6 Rangers. My guess being that the Wolf and Shark Zords are on remote, along with the Phoenix, Snake and Mantis Zords, which are also there. And okay, the Mantis Zord. This is the last episode besides the recap video, so I really need to go ahead and mention this. That being the Gold Zord's name is incredibly shaky information. I swear that I saw it mentioned on something involved with the Cosmic Fury toys, but now I'm having trouble finding even that. Ranger Wikia does not use that name, simply referring to it as the unnamed Gold Zord. And that bugs me, if you don't mind the terrible yet unintended pun. It gets decent screen time! Give the dang thing a name! Anyway, yes, we finally have both Megazords at the same time fighting against something that isn't a Scuttleworm. And Inkworth is quite the fighter. You definitely get an Alfred vibe from this guy. He's just a butler now, but he was definitely in the service when he was younger. He makes it rain ink, limiting the Ranger's vision, and just repeatedly slams the two Megazords into each other. By the by, a paused cockpit screenshot showed me that I was half right. The Shark Zord is on autopilot, but Ion is actually piloting the Wolf Zord. His suit is part blue, that does kind of make sense. It's the Grizzly Zord that's on autopilot, and that kind of makes sense too. It means that one Zord on each of the Megazords is on autopilot. The Megazords get blasted apart by lightning, and the Rangers realize they have to deal with this storm first. So Ion has the Snake and, I guess, unnamed Gold Zord shoot the sky, and then the Phoenix flies by, and the storm goes away.
That was easy.
You know, it's kind of funnier when one Gold Ranger is saying that about another Gold Ranger. The Rangers decide that they should try something new and swap around Zords. The Grizzly and Scorpion Zords on the CF, the Shark and Chameleon Zords on the CD. And funny enough, they don't do a single thing like this. Amelia says they have to do something beyond new. They need to go Ultra. Oh yeah.
And here we go.
The Cosmic Dragon Megazord basically hops onto the Cosmic Fury Megazord's back, and thus is born the Cosmic Fury Ultra Zord. That's what I'm talking about. You know that I love me a good Ultra Zord, especially when it uses all of the Zords in a season. And you know what else I just realized? This is the 9th episode out of 10. This is our Zord finale, and I'm here for it. Seriously, this is kind of a Samurai Gigazord kind of situation, as the Cosmic Fury Megazord is just standing on a rolling platform that is the Cosmic Dragon Megazord. They take out Inkworth's tentacles, and Inconceivable is an amazing pun. They blast Inkworth back into an incomplete building. I guess Zed was supporting some development on Eltar. And he screams, "Inkworth, you fool!" as he falls. In case that pun didn't make any sense to you, it ties into Inconceivable. Both of those are Princess Bride references.
Inconceivable! You keep using the word. I don't think it means what you think it means. Ha-ha, you fool!
In the fortress, Ollie has been chained up too and is trying to escape, but a copy guard that sounded a lot like Elgar weirdly says that's going to take quite a long time. Ollie is upset that he's powerless now that he's good again, even wondering what Amelia will think of him. Slither tries to console him, but that's interrupted by the Rescue Rangers. Oh, right, I'm sorry. The Rescuing Rangers. Oh, stop that. The Rangers fight their way in. By the way, I still think it's really cool that Sentinels shatter when they're defeated, and free the captives. The Rangers power down. Amelia and Ollie run to each other and hug. I don't care if it's a kid's show, they should have kissed there. Amelia does at least call him Babe, showing that she still loves him. Ollie hugs everyone, and Ion congratulates Mucus and Slither for the success of their mission. Nice, focused praise for them before the Rangers refocus. Ollie explains exactly how Zed is going to become a Morphin Master. The captured Master Energy. He's going to use it.
The museum! Something's happening to it!
Ah, taking a page from Galvanax. Consume the source of the powers and something good is going to happen for sure. The Rangers go to leave to stop Zed because, oh yeah, Zed took the Master Energy and left. But the doors close and a hologram of Bajilia appears. The fortress is gonna explode, with them trapped inside. If I may, just a minor little question here. What is with this? Okay, this is a trope and it's one that I've never understood. My enemies are invading my base, so I'm gonna trap them in it and blow it up. Heck, Vrock did this just to get rid of Robo Knight and Orion. It seems kind of wasteful to me. I know it's usually presumed on the idea of the fact that they're about to go take over everything, so they'll have plenty of places to build a new base, but you've already got one. Just capture or kill the Rangers. And man alive, is this episode giving us good and bad in equal measure, usually almost at the same time. Bajilia says the Rangers have 20 seconds to think back over their lives. Finally, a bomb that isn't set to like 1 minute or 5 minutes. I mean, hey, it's not like blowing up right away or a shorter 10 seconds or something, but 20 seconds isn't bad. A countdown? Slither muses. To destruction?
Shut up, Wesley.
Javi tells Ollie that they need a genius plan, but Ollie says there isn't one. There is no escape from this room. Zato realizes what he has to do. He takes the time that they don't really have, to tell Ion that he promised to do what is best for the team. As the clock hits 0 and Ion screams no, Zato raises his staff and creates a force field around the team. The left tower of Zed's palace just collapses. The room that the Rangers are in is still standing. There's just no ceiling now. I'm glad that Bajilia's big plan was to kill the Rangers with falling rubble. Zato, of course, collapses, and as the Rangers beg him to wake up, the grid opens above them. Oh good, here comes Master Green again to wave her staff and fix everything and save Hang on. Master Green can't come and save them. She's still stuck in Zed's canister. No, nobody's coming to help them this time. Zato's time is up and he is returning to the grid. And I love the way that this was presented and acted. Ion can't accept it and keeps screaming for Zato to wake up and not to leave him again. Amelia sadly but stoically accepts this, just quietly saying goodbye. The Rangers are all deeply saddened, and there's like a choir in the background singing Latin like in Dark Souls or Bloodborne. It's sad and powerful, and hey, you know what? Hey, Brody, this is epic. Zato's spirit leaves his body, his eyes opening as he rises towards the grid. But then Ion's spirit leaves his body, clinging to Zato's, and the two of them enter the grid together. Zato's body disappears, but Ion stays there with him unresponsive. Amelia collects Zato's staff and morpher, and at this moment I went, oh, so that's how it happens, and says they still have a mission.
You have a mission to fulfill!
Actually, not that bad a choice of a cutaway, as Amelia's final line in the scene, "We'll get through this," is delivered just as badly, just completely and totally flat, as opposed to screaming. You know, Linkara's History of Cosmic Fury came out recently, and he said and pointed out that on this series of 10 episodes, nobody really screams? I hadn't noticed that. On the ship, the Rangers wonder what their options are. Ollie explains that with the Master's power, Zed would be Nemesis Beast times 100 strong. Izzy wonders what they could possibly do against that kind of power. Ollie sees the Rangers' weapons laid out on a table for entirely self-evident reasons, and gets an idea that they make so clear, I'm just going to tell you now, he's going to find out a way to combine their weapons. As they leave to work on that, Solon stays behind and notices that Zato's morphing orb is now glowing blue. Dabba-dee, dabba-die. In the mountains, the Rangers detected that Zed was in the mountains. Zed is absorbing the Master power in a big throne. Weirdly, he calls the feeling peaceful and serene, which I thought was going to be immediately followed up with a gag about those feelings being revolting, but no, he seems to find it pleasant. The Rangers teleport in, and Izzy says, absorbing the power, sitting in a giant throne. Yeah, she called it. Zed says they can't ruin his moment, then taunts them for losing Zato. Watch it, Javi says. Zed's response, why?
Sheer hubris.
I adore it. So, I have a quick little request to all of my viewers and commenters who keep insisting to me that Power Rangers is just a kid's show. Can you tell me how old you were when you learned what the word apotheosis meant? Because I'll tell you, I was 41 years old, aka today, right now. Today I learned.
Apotheosis.
Apotheosis is the highest point in the development of something. The hipper lingo generation might refer to this as Zed's best self chair instead of his apotheosis throne. It also means the elevation of someone to divine status, which might be the more fitting definition here. Zed is basically telling the Rangers,
Come here prepared to fight a madman, and instead you found a god?
Zed says all of the Morphin Master energy is inside him now. He transforms, and it's pretty badass. Bigger horns on the helmet, more armoring, a blue diamond and Z symbol center chest, and of course, a big black cape.
Nuggets!
Major misstep right here. Zed's first act with his new powers is to blast a big Z into the side of a mountain. The Rangers call it an N and take like 30 seconds going back and forth with him. It's a Z. Oh, but from our angle, it looks more like an N. Anyway, it sucked moving past it. The Rangers tough talk Zed, and Zed mocks them for bringing along Ollie when he doesn't even have any powers anymore. Ollie asks Zed if he's sure about that. Yeah, this wasn't a huge surprise, but it is a nice development. With Zato back in the grid, we have a spare Morpher, and it has bonded to Ollie, finally giving us the Cosmic Fury Blue Ranger. Zed says he's not scared, but Ollie says he should be. And they combine all of their weapons, including ions, into a giant bazooka.
That was totally wicked!
The combining sequence is all CGI, and honestly it's a little fast, but it was still very nostalgic and it made me smile. We don't get a lot of combining weapons anymore. But as you might expect, this is not just Lord Zed, but Master Zed, so the shot does absolutely nothing and Zed blasts them all back. Javi makes an interesting choice, but he does couch it perfectly. The time has come to escalate the battle. He summons the Cosmic Fury Zords. Lion, Shark, Wolf, Bull, Chameleon. The Rangers order the Zords to light Zed up, and he begins destroying them one by one. Seriously, single shots, kaboom, kaboom, and it's those explosions where it's kaboom and then the explosion fades and there's nothing there. Not all of the Zords are destroyed. He shoots about 3 or 4 before the Rangers decide they need a new plan. So as of the end of the series, I will say, some of the Zords have been destroyed, but not all of them, unless they repaired, regenerated in the grid like they repaired earlier on. Anyway, Ollie and Amelia try to think of a new plan as the others dodge around avoiding Zed's blast. Finally, an idea comes to them. The Master Captivator. It's still nearby because Zed absorbed that energy, and Zed's only left 2 Sentinels guarding it. If they can get to it, they can shoot Zed with it and capture his energy, since he's been melded with the Morphin Masters. That is until more Sentinels, Scrozzle, and Bajilia teleport in with a TV crew. Zed is annoyed, not caring about the press part of all this, and not needing Scrozzle's help right now. Scrozzle grabs the Master Captivator and fires it at Lord Zed. Zed's energy is captured within the machine, and we have reached the twist. Bajilia is taking things over. She has been playing Lord Zed from the very beginning. So why capture him now? Oh, strap in, heroes. This is going to be good. Here's the deal. Zed's energy is real unstable inside that machine. It's not going to take very much to set it off. And when that happens, a wave of pure evil energy will sweep the universe, destroying anything that is good. With no heroes, evil will be free to go to war with other evil, and war profiteers like Bajilia will make sick bank. I was thinking about politicians and like politicians that are left trying to explain to people like, why are you still alive if you're supposedly good and not evil? But like, anyone good will be dead, so who would care? The Sentinels grab the Cosmic Blaster, and for some reason, even the Rangers are confused, are able to fire the thing, shooting it at the Rangers. They're demorphed and captured. They can't morph again because the Kool-Aid Man is red, and the show points out, oh, now that reference to Countdown to Destruction earlier makes a lot more sense, that this is a lot like the Zordon wave, just the other way around, though Bajilia denies that. Slither, Mucus, and Solon are monitoring this situation on the ship. Slither tells Solon to call in all the other Ranger teams for help as he and Mucus teleport away to do whatever they can. As Bajilia explains her plan to purple TV host dude, finding Lord Zed in the crystal, knowing she'd be able to exploit him by giving him the chance to get revenge on the Masters, etc., etc., Solon calls on all the other Power Ranger teams, begging for help. Okay, cute moment. Scrozzle explains how he tricked Zed by giving him the idea to use the Master's energy, making him vulnerable to this plan. He does a perfect imitation of Zed accepting the plan, and the TV host says that Scrozzle has a talent for voices. Cute. The energy is gonna blow apparently like right now, so the evil forces, including the reporter, so is he like an evil reporter? Count down. Yes, even the Rangers go, seriously? A countdown?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2.
Yep, the countdown stops at 2 because that's where the episode ends. Let's gaze at the stars. Episode 9, Master Plan. Pros, this episode felt like a movie. A theme of betrayal and side-switching, and escalation on escalation. Cons, kind of beating us over the head with references, disappointing for the cosmic cannon to fizzle its first shot, and especially the early parts of the episode move a bit too fast. Some viewers have been a little upset that Cosmic Fury has been stuck in the 3 range. Well, here you go. Master Plan gets 4 stars out of 5. Honestly, starting around about halfway through this episode, I started checking the timer every so often to see how much longer could possibly be left. This episode felt so long, and not in a bad way. The decision to head to Eltar, the fight against Inkworth, freeing Alitachi, surviving the explosion, Zato and Ion going into the grid, the fight against Zed, Bajilia's sudden but inevitable betrayal. This was a jam-packed episode. I love episodes that have a common theme that's spread throughout multiple subplots. Here we have Mucus and Slither more firmly declaring their return to goodness, Ollie being returned to goodness, and Bajilia and Scrozzle turning on Zed. And it points at one of this season's core themes. Zed constantly preaching that you have to just be on your own and just stand by yourself, but when he was standing by himself, that's when he fell. A real sense of escalation versus escalation. The Rangers bring out 2 Megazords, Inkworth smacks them around. The Rangers form an Ultrazord. The Rangers freed Ollie, the bad guys trapped them. They escaped, formed a new blaster, it had no effect on Zed. This episode really conveyed that push and pull feel of this epic battle between good and evil. Establishing that the aliens in New Tech City are refugees of Zed's conquest was not actually just cute, but really, really smart, I think. But multiple references to Countdown to Destruction, which doesn't even really make sense if you think about it, because that was an episode title and didn't really exist in the show's meta, and all the other little wink nods to nostalgia just got to be a little bit much. They've been doing it all season and really all Hasbro era. It was just more concentrated and noticeable here. The Cosmic Blaster, which I kept wanting to call the Cosmic Cannon to the point of there being a blooper on this take where I actually did that, was a nostalgic throwback, and really I feel that every Power Rangers team should have individual weapons that combine into a team weapon. But perhaps debuting it against Master Zed was the wrong call. It was absolutely right based on power levels for it not to scratch him at all, but that's really disappointing for the debut of that kind of weapon. Here's my idea. Have a short little ground fight against Inkworth, destroy him with the Cosmic Blaster, have him grow, and then etc, etc. And especially early on, I was just getting that Whiplash feeling again. Going from the ship unmorphed straight into the Zords was just too fast. We kept going from planets light years and light years apart in a finger snap. The downside of this episode being so jam-packed is that it hardly gives you time to take a breath. Overall, a pretty darn good penultimate episode, which did its job, setting the table for an epic finale. Excuse me. Where do you think you're going? I'm not going anywhere. We're going right in for it here. Okay, alright, here's another opportunity to pause the video, refresh the drinkies, refresh the snackies, use the bathroom again, but after that, let's zoom. let's take a look at the finale of Power Rangers Cosmic Fury, its 10th episode, which honestly has one of those "this could be it for Power Rangers, period" titles. The end. What's that? You want the preview for it? Alright, fine, but listen, I'm not going to do the whole slate and graphics thing. I'm just going to read it right here. If Team Cosmic Fury can't stabilize the Master Captivator, a wave of pure evil threatens to wipe out all the good in the universe. No pressure, right?
I can't take it! I can't take it!
The preview frame for Netflix is Izzy touching Javi's chest, and he seems to be holding the staff. What's that hinting to?
Suspense.
Ion wakes up in a white void, not knowing where he is, but then seeing Zato and calling out to him. Zato turns, his eyes now a striking blue, but doesn't respond. And as if to show the kids that Ion hasn't actually gone anywhere, we then see him laying on a bed in the base ship, still passed out. Back over to the battlefield, where we have rewound the action exactly 6 seconds. The countdown now starts from 8, but when it reaches 2, the TV reporter and the Sentinel crew get blown up. I guess he was evil, huh? This was done by a squid drill that was commandeered by Mucus and Slither. They tell the Rangers they've got their backs and blast the Sentinels that were about to shoot Zed's tank with the Rangers' blaster. We didn't see them pick it up last time, they just had it this time. But in the explosion, one of the Sentinels is thrown towards the Captivator and hits the tank, cracking it. Uh-oh. Scrozzle, in something of a standard move for him, nopes out of that mess in order to stay alive for future possibilities. Bajillia orders a blockade of Eltar, and basically all of the squid drills show up, blasting at the Rogue One. Slither seems to suggest a heroic sacrifice, time for one last, but then they're hit again and he's interrupted. Bajillia tells the Rangers that she'll just have the squid drills blast the Captivator from orbit, and what are they going to do about that? The Rangers teleport over to the Captivator and teleport away with the Captivator.
That was easy.
In the white void, Captain Picard shakes God's hand, and it turns out to be Q. Oh, wait. Sorry, I'm confusing white voids that could have been heaven or whatever. Ion is hugging Zato, but Zato says,
She doesn't even go here.
He speaks rather formally and says that he is not Zato, and he doesn't know who Ion is. Ion's immediate reaction is to think that they must be on the planet Nibiru, that Zato is another illusion. He calls out to the power guarding that planet, saying that they're friends. Doesn't he remember them from when the Rangers fought Lord Zed on that planet? The man knows the terms Rangers and Lord Zed. They can't remember much else, but do know that the morphing grid has connected them. Based on just some thumbnails that I've seen theorizing about the end of Cosmic Fury and who this might be, I'm pretty sure I already know who it's supposed to be. And honestly, I'm going to be a little bit upset if it turns out to be true. Ion asks if they can check if Zato's energy is in the grid, and they do so. The Rangers fly their ship away from Eltar with Mucus and Slither's squid drill clearing the way. This ain't Super Megaforce though, their luck runs out, and the two of them teleport off to somewhere, not the Ranger ship. Anyway, just as the situation seems hopeless, Billy calls! He got their mayday, and he's come back with a little bit of help. Okay, so, heroes. You remember me saying that we needed to see the former Rangers for that to have more impact? Well, we may not see them even here. It is just Billy and Min, and hey, even though she doesn't speak, it is good to see her. And that definitely makes me think that that was filmed during Once and Always. But we see Megazords. Billy has brought the Dino Megazord and the Astro Megazord. and the Galaxy Megazord, and the Beast X Megazord, and the Ninja Blaze Megazord. This is so amazingly epic, they even managed to pick the best of the Ninja Steel Megazords.
Yes! That's awesome!
Okay, the next sequence is all CG, and it's totally popcorn, and there's absolutely no substance to it whatsoever. It's amazing. It's fantastic to watch. The Rangers fly away from Eltar as 5 classic Megazords clear them a path, ending with the Dino Megazord ripping a Squidrill in half. I may have used it, but I'm using it again.
That was totally wicked!
The only downside to it is it's definitely a just like that, it's over moment. Solon scans the Captivator and Zed isn't leaking out just yet, but the crack is growing. Billy calls and asks if they got to safety. They thank him and the other Rangers for the save, but explain the Zed situation. Billy doesn't have an answer, just saying that they'll buy them some time to figure one out themselves. Also, he doesn't have his helmet on because the crack grows again and starts glowing.
Uh-oh, we're in trouble.
Again, it's really kind of super funny when that cutaway is used for something that involves Lord Zed directly. So, back to the Void. Zato, ease of reference, his eyes snap open and he reports that Zato's energy is indeed in the morphing grid again. Ion asks for another extra life for Zato, but the man explains that Zato's save file has been deleted. Seriously, his mortal life is at an end now, or words to that effect, but this person can help him in other ways. For example, his friends need him again. Oh, there's something I used to say in moments such as these. May the power protect you.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
Okay, we need to back up to something that I kind of glossed over from the previous episode because it just became way more relevant. Back when Amelia and Billy were discussing the Cosmic Fury Rangers going to Eltar, and Amelia made up her mind, I said that Billy wished her a May the Power Protect You. What Billy actually said was, as my mentor used to say, may the power protect you. Now this body, with blue eyes, is saying the same thing.
Things that make you go
Ion wakes up, Izzy hugging him, and he quickly realizes what's going on. Quick little observation of the situation. No, Ion read Izzy's mind when he hugged her. That was actually kind of cute. So, the Rangers contemplate what to do about the Captivator. Hobby wishes that they could just give it to some space wizard to deal with.
Do you understand?
They wish that the Morphin Masters could help them, but they're not guarding the grid anymore. Besides, if they give the Masters the Captivator, it could wipe them out in the morphing grid as well. But Ollie realizes that no, the Masters were never in the grid, though thinking about it, I can think of several flashbacks that would disagree with that. They were just the guardians of the grid. The grid is now completely empty. As far as they're aware anyway, Ion painted his experiences as a weird dream. That could be the perfect place to take the Captivator. Remember, the grid cannot be destroyed, but it could be changed, warped. Setting the Captivator off inside the morphing grid could cut every single Power Ranger off from their powers. There's a little bit of a trope, it's kind of from the mouths of babes, as the newest Power Ranger, Fern, says what any Power Ranger would. If the choice is between losing their powers and all good beings across the universe being wiped out, goodbye powers. So, how do we get the Captivator into the morphing grid? Well, they only know of one place that they've accessed the grid anywhere near on purpose, the altar on Zordnia. And for the first time in like 7 episodes, Javi finally shows some angst over his robot arm, flexing it and going, oh boy. On On Zordnia, again, another snap and we're there, Javi volunteers to do this again, and let me get this out of the way. He was right. This makes the most sense. They paint this as some kind of noble sacrifice since this cost him an arm last time. But that's just it. Use the robotic arm. I mean, worst to worst, it gets blown off and you just slap another one on there. Despite this logic, Izzy says that she's not going to let Javi do this alone, and this is the Netflix frame of her hand on his chest while he's holding the staff. They're going to do this together, Team Garcia. Ollie realizes, maybe because he wasn't there last time so he has a clearer mind about this situation, that maybe that was the problem from the very beginning. The Rangers don't work alone, they do things as a team. But as they go to put the staff in as an entire team, there's a blast. The lightning from before? No, that does strike, which created a nice little subversion, but this blast was Bajilia, who somehow snuck onto their ship and is confronting them now. The Rangers morph, saying they can handle her by herself, but she makes the stakes really clear. She doesn't need to defeat them. She just needs to hit the Captivator once. She teleports a distance away, and the Rangers form the Cosmic Blaster. They miss twice. This thing is starting out like the Dino Daggers, but third time is the charm as they hit her in the air. She explodes in a cloud of ink, and it was very visceral, like it was her blood. And then the stupidest thing happens. Simon, I'm sorry. I know you're back on YouTube. You're probably watching this, but just her blaster hits the ground, goes off, and hits the Captivator. Why make this a random chance twist of fate thing? Why not just have her hit the Captivator before the Rangers hit her? Amelia tells the team they still have time, and they grab the staff and go to stab the altar, but the staff flies away to Zato, who appears from a grid portal in full Master regalia. Except for the helmet, I guess. Oh, and this time, by the way, it really is Zato, not whoever Ion saw in the grid. He tells them there's no time, zapping them, and they're all teleported inside of the Captivator, where he says that time moves differently. Okay, anyway, Zed pops out and tries to destroy them, but can't. This time we take the whole physics-based illusion about the grid and beat the audience over the head with it. In here, they're all simply energy. Energy cannot be created or destroyed, only change form. Zed asks what they want, and Zato says he wants to help Zed. Zed scoffs at this at first, so Zato explains how Zed is about to become another Z-Wave. Also a Z-Wave, funny enough, because of course. Though funny enough, I did also think of the Thrax Wave from Hyperforce, mainly because I actually watched through my Hyperforce reviews somewhat recently. Zed thinks this sounds great. The Emperor of Evil is the ruler of a universe where only evil exists. But did Zordon survive the Z-Wave? No. Zed would not survive either, but Bajilia would be the winner here. Zato says there is a way to save Zed's life, but he's going to have to give up the Master Powers. He won't do it at first, but the Rangers convince him, especially Ollie parroting back his words that only surviving matters, you have to watch out for yourself alone. He agrees to part with the powers, Zato holds up his staff, there's a bright light, and the Rangers are laying on the ground. A giant Zed scoffs that of course he was going to kill them anyway, when Rita screams for him to get her a drink. Yes, Rita, in her face mask and cucumbers glory. Voiced, unfortunately, not by Barbara Goodson, but by Susan Brady, Power Rangers is a non-union production. The Rangers are actually standing nearby, and here's the twist within the twist. This is Nibiru, which, in case you forgot, is the planet from Waking Nightmares when Zato and Ion had to fight their former teammates' spirits. Ghost nightmare thing. Anyone there is trapped in their worst nightmare, which for Zed is dealing with his wife, though even he admits, I hate how much I love her. They close the door firmly on Zed. The orb thingy that guards the planet says that unless Zed somehow deep inside has a noble spirit, he'll be trapped there forever. And the Rangers realize that any monster that came to save him would also be trapped. Though, as Linkara said, they could just beam Zed up, although maybe the field that creates the nightmares extends to the outer atmosphere anyway. And then we open the door right back up. Zato says there could be nobility in Zed, and it is possible for even him to be redeemed. Cut to the ship where everyone, including the Masters, is watching this. Then they talk. The Master's confused about how Zato became a Morphin Master. Ion says he thinks he knows.
I've got it! Arson!
He tells them about leaving his body and meeting a being in the grid that knew about Rangers and Zed and wanted to help and knew that Zato was in the grid. The Masters know of no being like this, but it's really not terribly important. Zato is glad to have seen his team like this.
Last time.
Yep, it's time for Zato to go, and this time the Rangers get to say goodbye. This is a deeply emotional scene, and it actually got to me a little bit. They all thank Zato for all he taught them, gave them, even bringing them together in the first place. He, of course, says a special goodbye to Ion, his best friend. He tells them to go have some more adventures, and his parting words to them are, "Until next time, Rangers." Deeply emotional. So I'm going to talk about this only because I feel like somebody would mention it to me if I didn't. All 6 of the Masters are in this scene. You may recall way back at the start of the Cosmic Fury reviews, I thought that Master Gold was actually Master Orange. Seeing him here clear as day, I can understand why I thought that. His accoutrements are all orange. Yeah, it's just way too dark to be gold. I'd have a closer time calling that color brown than gold. Even better, he never speaks, so there's never a caption that says Master Gold or Master Orange. Anyway, the cute kind of sci-fi wrap-up you'd expect for this kind of show. Ion says they just saved the universe, and they have a spaceship. Anywhere special that they want to go? Amelia says, yeah, let's go home.
Show me the way to go home. I'm tired and I want to go to bed.
Sometime later, Javi is fronting a band that's doing a concert, and credit where it's due, this isn't a show at Buzz Blast or some other set they've used before. This is an entirely unique concert venue. Javi has written and is performing a song called May the Power Protect You. Original music on the show is really good, blah, blah, blah. Billy points out how cool it is that the chorus of the song is Zordon saying. Ion says, no, Javi got that from me. I told him about what the being in the void said. Billy wants to know everything. Amelia gets a text from Tarek. It's a picture of him and Santora and her new little sister, who came early. They named her after someone who saved something precious to them. Her name is Poppy.
Oh, don't cry, are you?
Oh yeah, so Mick is with Billy and Ion on the other side of the stage from where the other Rangers are hanging out. And a little bit of characterization for him that I really like. Amelia runs across the stage for some reason behind the instruments and stuff, but still really easy to trip on a cord and unplug something, to their side of the stage to show the picture off, and Mick looks confused. Probably because he doesn't really know who most of these people are. Billy tells Mick that if that was the spirit of Zordon, that could change everything. Mick says, ooh, yeah, maybe Zordon's a ghost or something. Amelia, of course, says if there's a ghost hunt, she's dropping everything. Mucus and Slither are still alive. I kind of vaguely remember them kind of floating in space and being like, yay, they did it, or something. And they're running the lights. Things wrap up as the Rangers their friends and their parents rush the stage for some reason, and the song ends. We see in a portal of the grid that Zato is observing this, and the final words of Cosmic Fury, and possibly once again all of Power Rangers, are "Cool, cool, coolio." And thus comes to an end Power Rangers Cosmic Fury. One more time, let's gaze at the stars. Episode 10, Finale, The End. Prose, emotion, and heart. Subverts the trope of one final battle, and crumbs left for the future. Cons, fake Zato was confusing and frustrating. A little more of that whiplash, and a lot of doubts about the future. I wanted with all my heart to give this episode a 5. But hate me if you must, to mine own self I must be true. The End gets 4.5 stars out of 5. Zato's farewell, of course, choked me up, but there's a lot of good emotion here. The final scene with Master Zed has some heavy feelings of reluctance, acceptance, doing what has to be done. More on that later. The wrap-up concert has a feeling of togetherness and hope. I'm sure it brought the finale of Dino Thunder to mind for a lot of people. Just lots of good feels. Later is now, though. This entire episode really subverts the sense of a need for one final battle. The battle with Vigilia kind of fulfills that, but it's over way too quick for me for that to really be what that is, and in the end it was really an accident that her goals were sort of met. But as far as a final fight with Master Zed, it's a negotiation where nobody has any power. They can all live, or they can all die, and only Zed has to be convinced to do the right thing, for the sake of his own survival, if nothing else. I'm a little ambivalent about this, especially the big one, but the crumbs that are left that hint at further adventures down the road are nice. They're not hints in a way where I expect us to actually ever see those adventures, but they're crumbs in a way where I could imagine the team taking the spaceship back out with their powers and dealing with more evil and finding it and whatever. Evil was never wiped out. It was good that was going to be wiped out. While Billy does exactly what he said he was going to do in Once a Ranger, keeps looking for Zordon. Whether Once a Ranger takes place before or after Cosmic Fury. Anyway, it's such a weird choice to, I realize I kind of mentioned this already in the plot recap, have Ion encounter someone in the void with Zato's body, weakly explaining that the mind sees whatever it wants to see, and to have that person be the spirit of Zordon. You know, Zordon never said that he would live on in the grid. He said that he would live on inside all of the forces of goodness. You could sort of say that is existing within the grid, but in the end, it just feels kind of like nostalgia baiting to have Zordon still be any sort of a presence. It devalues his sacrifice. Let Zordon be dead. This is kind of a quick con, but it kind of fits with it, and just like in episode 9, it feels like this episode kind of snaps us from place to place without letting us settle anywhere. This last con is really about a lot more than Cosmic Fury itself. It's almost not fair to list it as a con for the episode, but I did consider it a bad thing that the episode made me think of. I didn't penalize the episode for this con. Let me go ahead and sum up the episode and then we'll talk about it. It was a pretty epic feeling conclusion that subverted the trope of one final battle for the outcome to give us a unique ending with a lot of heart to it. But this is where it stands, and I'm not going to mince words. Heroes, the Power Rangers franchise is in severe doubt right now. The Lightning Collection is on at least extended pause, and the toy line has all but disappeared from stores. I honestly don't even give Hasbro credit for a Cosmic Fury toy line. They did a Megazord and a Morpher, and from what I heard, the Megazord sucked. Hasbro as a company is hemorrhaging money. Not just Power Rangers, there have been severe cuts in the Dungeons & Dragons department, a huge moneymaker for Hasbro, and every Hasbro franchise has a huge question mark over it right now. As amazing as this is to even consider, Hasbro may be facing bankruptcy. And if they go that route, Power Rangers could be cast right back into the void. Would we get a third Saban era? Another company taking a crack at it?
Who knows? Not me.
In comparison to his own history of Power Rangers series about it, Linkara once said that Power Rangers will never truly die. Remember how I said that this episode has a very, not only this series, but the franchise kind of finale title to it? Ranger Wikia says this is the 7th episode of Power Rangers that was written with the intention of being some sort of franchise conclusion. As even they point out, and people would surely rush to tell me, development on Power Rangers has apparently not ended. A Power Rangers reboot series is supposedly being worked on by Jonathan Entwistle and Jenny Klein, also supposedly in conjunction with a new Power Rangers movie. Guess what? Google News Search's most recent article on that comes from July 14th of last year. Yes, there were strikes. Those strikes have been over for a while now. We're not sure if the company bankrolling these things is going to have a bankroll next year. These are troubling times for the Power Rangers. I have faith in the concept, the idea, the nostalgic value. There's just too much core good in a unique superhero concept like Power Rangers to just let it go away. Like I said, maybe some company comes and scoops the Power Rangers license out of bankruptcy proceedings, goes back to Toei, and we go back to doing things the way we did before. Saban didn't let his baby die once, maybe he swoops in and saves it again. Or maybe Hasbro pulls out of this nosedive and we'll get these rebooted Rangers. I have faith that something is going to save the Power Rangers franchise. Right now, I just couldn't tell you what that's going to be. And the Orange Ranger is a Power Ranger, so I am not going anywhere. I like suspense, so I'm going to save the details for next time, but I will announce this here today. With all the negativity on the end of this video, I wanted to leave you with something positive. Cosmic Fury Reviews will not be the end of Orange Ranger videos. Next time on Cosmic Fury, we'll likely have what will be my shortest recap and summary video, and then in that video, I'll let you know what's coming next. That is going to wrap up the final Power Rangers Cosmic Fury episode review, and I really want to take a second and not just run off my rehearsed little end of video spiel, and just really talk to you heroes and thank you this season more than any other for your patience. There was only 10 episodes this season, and they came out all at once, so the show's been out for months and months and months, and I know that you've all been so eager to get my take on every episode, especially the end and all those amazing developments that happened, and a lot of stuff was coming up in my life, different things here or there, trying to figure out schedules, juggling a second channel, etc., and it's taken a long time to get to this point. I want to thank you all so much for being patient, for waiting for these videos, anticipating them, showing me that you were still interested in them. I will admit there was a point where I was going to go on kind of a hiatus and I thought I'd just kind of give it up and not finish Cosmic Fury, but I did want to do it. I did want to finish it. And through those episodes, I've found the drive to keep going with Orange Ranger videos, even if there's no Power Rangers to review. So for that, I want to thank all of you. I also want to thank you so much, as always, for watching. If you liked this video, I'd appreciate it if you'd hit that thumbs up button right down below. And while you're down there, also leave a comment letting me know what you thought of these 2 episodes, the wrap-up of Cosmic Fury, and your thoughts on the franchise going forward. Until next time, heroes, may the power protect you. Relaxing, cooking, etc. Oh, I put the glasses back on. Shh. No, I've got to do something special. And as bad as it's, we can actually say that Power Rangers Billy doesn't try to pull rank or have, the Rangers arrive, dropping below the cloud line, seeing Zed's, I hate you. Oh, that's even more of a hate. Time that they don't have to tell Ion she's still stuck in Zed's canister. I love the way that this nobody's coming to help them. Zed's Scrozzle explains how he used the cosmic cannon. Point being, Zed thinks this sounds great. The Emperor of Evil is the ruler of an Amelia gets a text from Tort. We're splitting that. Yay. And they're running the lights. Cons, fake Zato was confusing and, written to be at least a franchise sort of conclusion. No. That was written to be at least some kind of storyline overall over 30 years, or however many. Alright, the last article, words talking.